this late in the season, do you assume all the guys are probably not going to come back? Is there a chance?
No, there's still an outside chance. I think that the guys that I would hope that have an opportunity to come back are Denzel Clark. He's progressing, scheduled to run bases this weekend. Things go well. There may be a chance to send him out when we go on the road trip, which would be exciting. And I think Jacob Lopez is making more progress on a daily basis. Outside hope, and I never want to do this, but for Manolo's sake, because I know he's really excited, there's a chance that he may get to pitch before the season ends. And even if that's last week, that's all positive. Muncie is probably the furthest away, and probably the only one the other player on that list that you'd hope to get back, at least for that last series. But he's probably the furthest away.
Why is it? Kind of might be obvious, but why is it important for a guy to get a guy back, even if it's for like one game?
Yeah, I just feel like the confidence that you take into the off season, knowing that you're healthy, knowing that you played in a game, and that your off season will be focused on what you feel you need to improve and what you feel you need to strengthen, not just physically, but also from the standpoint of performance, and you can start on it as soon as you want. You don't have to wait to heal or continue your rehab.
For Jeffrey Springs, somebody who is caliber veteran guy, what do you want to see from him finishing out the season?
And for Jeffrey, I mean, he's into the season longer than he has been. He's amassed more innings this year than his previous 5, and that says a lot about hopefully him getting away from the injury and just building the endurance and going out and taking the ball consistently is pretty much all that we have left to accomplish. I don't look at his personal numbers really, but just to go out and give the team a chance to win every opportunity that's left.
You have been part of this rivalry between the Red Sox and the Athletics from both sides of the avenue. What are some of your favorite memories of those games between those two teams that, by the way, when they get into the playoffs, is a dogfight?
I didn't play the Red Sox in the playoffs. That was prior to me getting to the A's as a player. And we unfortunately in 04 and 05 didn't make the playoffs. In 06, we ran through the Twins and the Tigers. And in 07, we obviously fell a lot short of our goals. But I can speak to just playing as a Red Sox. You saw yesterday, obviously there's a large fan base that follows them, regardless of where they're at in the country. You always have support when you're in that organization, good and bad. They're an honest group that knows the game as a fan base. So when you play at home as a Red Sox, if you're going well, they love you, and if you're not, they'll let you know. And the worst thing you can do as a player as a Red Sox is deny the fact that you suck. When you suck. And I sucked.
Well, you have many players in your team, first-year players, or second-year players, and you have faced a lot of strong teams that are fighting for their lives to go to the playoffs, including the Red Sox. How the young players from the Athletics are going to benefit from these games moving towards next season when probably they will be fighting also for spots?
the games in themselves, I mean, you know, regardless of if they're playing in the playoffs, this is one of the better baseball teams in the league right now. We saw that last night. So, you know, we played some good teams in the last 2 months, but in my opinion, the way this club played last night, their starting pitcher, you know, their lineup, the consistency of the at-bats, the athleticism, this team over here, I would expect to make a run in the playoffs for sure.
Well, there's some time left in the season still, but when you look at the top of your rotation, what'd you learn about it in terms of projecting forward in the
This is the end of the year question.
I mean, it's September.
You know, I think obviously the top two guys in Severino and Springs, we brought them in here to lead the rotation, to use some of the stress off of the younger guys that were going to be engaged and provide innings. So, you know, obviously the month of May was a struggle for both of those guys, into April into May. I think they've rebounded really nicely and done a nice job of kind of recovering. You know, we still have a few starts left, like we talked about, for them to continue to improve their years. You know, but overall, going forward, I think they can continue to build and continue to be those guys that provide that leadership, stability, and opportunity for this club to go out and win games every fifth inning.
Do you feel like you've seen enough from Lopez, guys like Lopez and Morales, to factor them into, you know, maybe the 3-4 spots, or maybe even, you know, depending on how they pitch in the spring? Like, have they shown you enough that they can be in that mix next year?
I think both of them have had, you know, some quality starts to put themselves in line to pitch in the rotation. You know, obviously there's still 3 weeks, a little less than 3 weeks to finish the season off. There's a whole offseason to go through to, you know, look at the roster up and down, you know, try to figure out, you know, ways to improve this roster to go from whatever the win total is, which isn't going to be enough to make the playoffs, to a win total that makes the playoffs. But for Jacob, for Luis, two young starters, you hear me say it a lot that until they get 20 starts in the big leagues, it's tough to assess whether they're going to be, you know, really valuable starting pitchers. And I think they're still kind of in that phase right now. But yes, they've done enough to kind of be involved in that conversation for sure.
Your team is facing two wide variances in terms of starting pitching, going from last night to a potential Cy Young Award winner to someone who's just got called up. Where do the similarities and differences lie within preparation, getting your team prepared for each pitcher?
Preparation doesn't change. I mean, game plan and approach change based on, you know, stuff that each guy has. I think the game plan is going to be very similar to what it was last night. This is a left-hander who's making his debut that has a pretty good riding fastball, 95, 96. He's got all breaking balls, slider, sweeper, change, curve. I mean, this kid's advanced. He's had a lot of success in AAA. And again, you know, I think they're going to follow a very similar game plan. So, you know, our hitters will have an idea of what they're going to try to do to execute. Now, whether he executes as well as Crochet, we'll find out tonight. Stole it from you. You almost had it in there.